Hey everyone, today we're going to be looking at a modern style A-frame house. A-frame houses tend to be very easy buildings to put together and they make incredibly cozy bases. This house has a balcony on the side of the building which adds a ton of detail to the exterior, and a marble porch that goes all the way around the house. Some parts of that porch are also lowered, which adds some nice depth and detail. You might think because of the triangle shape of the building, the rooms inside would be very oddly shaped and cramped, but this isn't the case here because of some of the good design choices. An example being this wall right here, between the balcony and main house. This balcony area not only adds detail to the outside of the building, but the flat wall also adds a lot of space to the inside of the building too, improving both the exterior visuals and the interior space. Another cool design element is this area here. The bedroom sits in this small recessed cubbyhole, almost separating it from the rest of the room. This strikes a nice balance between the bedroom having its own area and still having a very open, easy to navigate house. When it comes to the deviant area, it's got a simple and efficient design, with a small recessed floor to add some detail and neat wiring that is hidden pretty well by connecting each containment unit to one another, and then connecting the last one in the chain to a relay near the floor. There's also a neat little storage area tucked away in the corner. The boxes look as if they are floating, but they are actually held up by a small wooden shelf. Personally, I like this technique better than just using the rusty metal shelf. That thing needs a real clean before it looks good in a modern house. Next, let's take a look at the kitchen. This area is hidden away in the corner of the house and it really is quite small in here, but it is full of utility as well. 2 fridges, some storage units, a cooker. It pretty much has everything to be able to mass produce food quickly, and it does look somewhat nice. The wiring once again is hidden away in the corners, which I always like good wiring. These outside areas also look super relaxing and comfy. This porch area is a small bar with some tables and chairs, and I can imagine inviting friends to and chilling out while thinking about what to do next, while that one friend is glued to the wish machine thinking about what to buy next. The upstairs is just a viewing area, but it does have some fish tanks and water purification along the back wall, which adds a little bit of utility to this decorative area. Now let's look at what would be some of the trickier areas to recreate if you was to build something like this yourself. Starting with the foundation. A lot of the foundation of this build either uses small blocks or manually lowered areas. To lower the foundations like this, you can take a block and turn off snapping, then hold the Alt key and use the scroll wheel. This raises or lowers the foundation slightly. This also works when using a combination of curved and inverted curved blocks, allowing you to make lowered or raised curved areas like this area right here. The same technique was used to make the lowered area near the deviant containers inside the house. Next, we take a look at the tricky parts of the walls and floors. Some parts of the balcony and walls use small wall tiles and small floor tiles to help make a more interesting shape. Like this side wall here, which has a triangle wall leading up to and supporting the roof. It's pretty easy to see how this was done once I enter build mode, and the same side wall pattern is also repeated on the porch below, but the triangle walls are now on the bottom. This adds some nice symmetry to the upper and lower area of the building. Small walls were also used to make some flat walls inside of the building, which is another important detail. It does reduce the space of some rooms slightly, but it gives more usable space, because sloped roof walls are just hard to place things along. Lastly, we take a look at the roof. Some more experienced builders have probably noticed the roof is made up of small blocks instead of large ones. This was just so that I could add an overhang on the front without it looking out of place. The larger roof tiles jut out a bit too much compared to the smaller roof tiles. There's no doubt something you could do to make this an interesting part of the build, but it was easier and nicer looking overall to just use a lot of small roof tiles to make it look smooth. But that is it for this showcase video. This is the first video of this kind I have done, and there is potential for me to showcase other players' builds in the future, not only in Once Human, but in other survival games as well. If you've got a few minutes to spare, do me a solid and tell me in the comments below what you liked and what you disliked about this style of video and what you would like to see more of in the future. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video as always, and thank you for watching.